I'm back today with another car wash project, and you may recognize this place. It's where I picked up my equipment originally. Obviously been shut down for a while and it's even fenced off. They're getting ready to demo it out. And today my project is I'm robbing the equipment out of the automatic bay. The automatic equipment was not worth salvaging or anything, but right here on my trailer is the whole dryer package. So, and that is worth salvaging. The rest of this stuff, I have a friend here that's just gonna scrap it, salvage it. So the unit that was in here, Autech Evolution. But here in the back of the bay, let me show you. There's a big old post mounted right here. Came up and across. Big old post mounted there, and then an electrical unit here on the wall. And I'm even gonna throw a picture up on the screen. I know the lighting is kind of getting with the camera right here, but we had big old heavy motors that we suspended from the garage door rails to get it down, and kind of a crazy thing, but it's gonna be a cool project to put these dryers back together and be able to utilize them at my self-serve bay. 2 out of 3 motors I have on here. One of them I've already taken out to my site. There's the electrical control panel unit, and then these 3 brackets here mounted up. And this is cool. That's the timer. I'm gonna figure out a way to mount that. And then these, of course, go over the drums on the motors to direct the air and everything. So it's gonna be a cool project to put together. And I'm also gonna pull off these lights and that one back there. It's sad to see, but this is the aftermath. I believe that this machine's between 15 and 20 years old is all. I've heard of them going much longer, but you gotta maintain a lot. And these weren't too old on here. Brushes, but those were a beast. Got a big, heavy metal, I think it's cast iron rod going through it. And this building, and along with this machine, is gonna get knocked over. So let's go out to my site now. And just like that, you guys are a couple days in the future. You can probably tell I'm a little more cleaned up than I was the other day. But there is that bracket that I showed you was previously mounted before I took the video. I'm gonna stand that bad boy up, straight up right. It's gonna be centered right over the top of that drain. And this is my 5th bay that I didn't know what to do with for a minute. So I got the 4 bays over here, right? So I got bay 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just called this one bay 0. I didn't really have any plans for it. The problem was I got a 4 bay pump stand to refurbish the old equipment that was in here, to retool basically the site, and I had a 5 bay site. So that's gonna go in there. I'll show you the dryer motors in a minute. I've got them inside. But I went ahead and busted that old plate off that was on this guy. If you remember right from a previous video, if you've been following along for a minute, the keys to these got stolen. I never had any coin boxes on the bottom, but the keys to, to open everything up in this place got stolen when my wire got stolen going to all my vacuums back there, when they broke in and everything. And so I went ahead, I took this crowbar basically, and I went straight through the timer there on the front and just pried this thing right off. It really wasn't difficult at all. I just had a little tab on the back there holding it in. So the new stuff I'm gonna be putting in here is gonna be a lot cooler. I'm gonna basically just mount a card reader and a coin mech on the top here. And then inside of our equipment room is where I've got the rest of this equipment. So let's run over there real quick. Okay, so each one of these freaking motors is like 200 plus pounds minimum, I'm guessing. I mean, these things are freaking monsters. 15 horsepower motors, and then these are the covers that direct, the tunnel and everything. So those are going up on the thing, and then I even got the little timer. So you gotta figure out where I'm gonna mount this thing, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go $1 for 90 seconds. Obviously you can't go over 100 seconds on this timer, so I think 90 seconds for $1 is gonna be plenty of time to drive through. And here's what I'm thinking on this site. I'm in Utah. We got a lot of cold months. In fact, it's already been a kind of a slow start to this car wash just because, gosh, today's probably been the warmest day yet, and we're barely 60 with no wind and everything. But in those cold months when people aren't able to, I shouldn't say not able, but aren't very willing to get out of their cars and dry their cars off, I think it's gonna be well worth paying $1 and driving through that bay right there for 90 seconds of high pressured air, or whatever you're gonna call it, to blow the excess water off. And then maybe just a little bit of minimal drying just in the cracks and crevices and stuff. So there's the plan. Probably just gonna be part 1 to this video. In a couple weeks after I get that plate built up to mount on there, and I'm able to stand this up, and I got a buddy to help me mount all those dryers up here, then we'll make a part 2 on how it's working and everything. Check out my other videos on this car wash, and I'm gonna be doing some videos on some other real estate projects I got going on. So I appreciate anybody that subscribes. That way your news feed will populate my videos when it pops up and everything. But until then, peace.